Bonjour, everybody. Welcome to Streaming Rainbow. My name is David Robles, and I'll be your dungeon master tonight. We are running our 8th episode of a Strahd story, which is my retelling, my interpretation of the very famous module, Curse of Strahd, and the supplement, what is it? Something's Guide to Ravenloft?
Van Richten's?
Van Richten's. Yeah, that's the character. See, you can see what I changed already. Yeah. So, we're on episode 8. I am joined by my fellow Streaming Rainbow DMs, Seraphina Smith and Laura Gallagher, as the sneak thief with a little bit of magic, Kruntle with an untle, and the most beastly but also wise healer in all of Barovia, the Far Wanderer's lone acolyte in the land, Mavec. As well, we have 2 guest players, Bastion in the AM, playing the ever intelligent, but more earnest Oddwood, and Patience, who's just trying to figure things out. Here to support, fuck some shit up, maybe charm a werewolf or 2.
Wait, is that the direction we're going today?
I don't know. You decide. Also, the dice will decide.
The dice will decide. I accidentally charmed another werewolf. Jeez.
Ultimately, the dice will be the decision makers here today.
You're not watching Dimension 20, and they're doing the Mentopolis right now, and I was like, man, how cool would it be if your natural 20 exploded? And you were like, roll another one, and you were like, you rolled a fucking 65 on
Jeez.
an attack roll or something. You know what I mean? Like, how cool would that be? Anyways, something to think about for your battle royales or special one shots. Yeah, so last week the gang did a whole bunch of research. It was a lot of nerd shit. Kruntle and Oddwood split up the work and did their best to get the basic idea, and then also start to dig into these large tomes that act as history books / journals / collections of memoirs of Strahd's father, Barov von Zarevich, and Strahd himself, and found out some very interesting information that they had heard some things about before, but essentially confirmed that Strahd was not the first Lord of Barovia, and that there was, and that when Barov was gravely injured, in order to save his life and seek more glory and fame and power for his family, he made a deal and became the first Lord of Barovia. And that Strahd, being both frustrated, angry, and at his father and brother, took his dad out. And that's sort of how he became the owner of the deed. We also found out through Oddwood that confirmed souls do not leave Barovia, and that sometimes those souls can feel a passion so strongly, feel an emotion, a tether to their physical form so strongly that they will rise again in that form, but that most rise again in another. And that some of that focus and passion can also lead them to tap into their former memories a little easier, and that if they are so fueled, they can even hold on to their bodies past their body's usefulness, past its composition, when it goes from a body to a puddle of, say, ink. Yeah, a lot of information. Big lore dump. After that, they descended the mountain. Let me see anything big. What else happened up there? Oh yeah, the gang adopted a baby. Oddwood is maybe a dad.
Maybe?
But for sure a guardian right now of an egg that wants to know where its mama is. And that apparently has some defenses because Kruntle with an untold shadow went to try to crack it and received such a powerful psychic rebuke that Kruntle was so yeah, that's cool. Yeah, after that, the gang descended the mountain and found Madame Ava's head and realized in just a moment that maybe she wasn't working with Strahd. Well, first thought, well, this means she wasn't working with Strahd, but then you heard Kiril's voice, and it maybe led you to believe she probably is, or was, because she's fucking dead now. Yeah, and that's our. Let's jump right in and see what happens to our adventurers. Okay, so Kiril has just said, how y'all doing there?
His voice coming from outside of the wagon, I assume?
Yeah, you guys are in Madame Ava's tent. I believe, was it Patience and Kruntle? Or was it maybe Mavec and Kruntle? Two people went into the, I know two people went into the bedroom. Patience and someone else. And then two people stood by the door.
Yeah, Mavec. Yes, yeah, it was Mavec and Oddwood.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and, yep, Pearl says, how y'all doing in there? Like my handiwork?
Oh, this was you.
Sure was. Can't have these agents of Strahd just, doing their work, doing their dirty deeds, unmolested.
You're saying that
Free land with wolves.
Madame Ava was working with Strahd?
Yeah, why don't you come out and let's talk about it? You can tell me how long you all been working with Strahd.
Yeah, Oddwood will step out.
Okay. There is a little over 24 men at arms. They are all werewolves, and you can perception check or insight needed. Some of them, about half or so. I guess you could give me a intelligence or perception, your choice, to see exactly how many to count real quick.
Yeah, sure. I'm good at perception. That's a 10.
There's 32. There's 32 men, and there's the same 4 giant dire wolves that you saw on the road.
Oh, we don't think we're working with Strahd. The goal is to take him down.
Well, see, I believe that, except that I'm not have on good authority that y'all have had multiple meetings with Strahd. And there's only two types of people in this world, right? Well, not in this world, in this pocket dimension or whatever the fuck's going on here. There's those that go into a meeting with Strahd and don't come out, and there are those that go into a meeting with Strahd and live. Y'all look pretty alive to me. There ain't
I'm
no
not
way.
gonna go to him and be like, hey, we want to kill you. Like,
I think at this point, Mavec does step out behind Oddwood, kind of peeking around him because she's absolutely much shorter than him.
Slippy's by your side as well. Slippy.
Yeah, I can imagine they flank at that point.
Slippy, yeah,
kind of
Slippy's on the right shoulder, and then Mavec is on the.
Yeah.
Patience would like to do a quick, what can I grab that looks important and shove it in my bag before making her way to the front door as well. I think she's actually also going to take Madame Ava's head.
Kruntle and Patience is very smart decision to think of that. Roll roll an intelligence and a wisdom check between the two of you.
Both each, or
Yeah, one each. One picks one, the other picks the other. We're gonna add your proficiencies, and what you get will tell you. Inform me on how much you grab and what to think to grab, and maybe.
do you mind if I take the wisdom?
I don't mind at all. I'm better at intelligence anyway.
Sweet.
You got an arcane trickster.
24. I can't guide myself, can I?
No, what was the die roll?
16 on the die, plus my modifier 3 plus proficiency. So 24 total.
Yeah, okay, so wait, what's your proficiency?
3 plus 3?
16 plus. Wait, what? How did you? Wait, sorry. You got 16 on the die?
16 on the die, plus
And
my
then-
modifier is plus 3,
And then your
plus proficiency
is
is plus 3. So
22.
16 plus 6. I'm not good at math.
Got you. Okay. Kruntle, what you got?
14 plus 3 plus 3, 30, 20.
Dirty 20. So 15 and 16. So you take 16, this is the higher roll, and add both of your proficiencies, which is 6 plus, and then what was your proficiencies, Kruntle?
3.
3. So 9, 16 plus 9, 25. 25 is a very good roll. You guys both rolled very well. It is very good. Because I assume that Kruntle's the one who carries the bag of holding.
Yes.
Based on your experience last time and what you remember of Kiril, you should absolutely put anything of value in that bag. I would grab the seal of Barav. The crystal ball, you definitely want to grab. And then, real quick for me, you can provide him the help action. Kruntle, if you want to roll to turn the place over. So,
Yeah, definitely. What's that roll? Investigation?
Yeah, investigation. I'm just assuming yours is better. If patience is better, you can do the opposite way, right? In investigation.
Yeah, my investigation's plus 6, so.
That's 4. But you said I can give the help action?
Yes.
Cool.
23.
You find underneath one of the rugs, there's a spot where the dirt is a little soft and like turned over, and you can quickly grab out. But there's a risk here, right? So you're gonna roll a sleight of hand with disadvantage because you know these people are gonna come in here right after you, right?
Right.
So you can take this out, put it in there, but you're gonna have to roll. Yeah, we'll call it sleight of hand at disadvantage to try to put it back as close to as possible. If you want to pull the chest, that's the other big thing.
Sure. All right. Let's see. How do I do disadvantage?
I'll cast guidance on you, which is add a d4.
Cool. Trying to make it I'll just roll it with my dice, whatever.
Might be worth an inspiration.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I give a bardic on that too?
Sure.
Is there bardic on it? What?
You have guidance and bardic now.
Oh, okay. Bardic is a D8?
Yep.
43.
What?
Natural 20.
With disadvantage?
With disadvantage. Yes.
You crit twice?
Yes.
You rolled double nat 20.
What?
Yes.
Hey, David. Hey,
It was
David.
the most beautiful thing I've ever
What does
seen.
a
in my
43
life.
get?
Yeah,
David,
we're
what
doing
does
a
a
43.
43 get?
Can
First of all,
Kiril
take
simultaneously
inspiration.
develop an ulcer?
take a D8. You could use it any time moving forward.
Kiril has an aneurysm and we all laugh.
5 teleportation potions.
What a fucking roll to roll.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
beautiful.
The getting
Crazy.
stuff roll.
Sorry.
That's what in the Untle and Kruntle, that's what that is.
Yeah. So you get, you do it. Well, you already rolled for the contents, but you are able to. Patience. It looks like a blur almost. It's that calm and chaos. It's just so fast and clean, but there's no frenetic nature to it. It is surgical as well. Kruntle is in the zone. He quickly. I will give it to you quickly because I will say there's a bit of a hurry, right? But you again see a stack of a stack of correspondence, some letters, some that looks very old. During your time, people are using forms of parchment now. You see like vellum and stuff, right? Some of that stuff that's goes back to like what the pages on Strahd and Barrow's section. So you see a little bit of correspondence. There's 50 gold in there, 10 platinum, and there's a couple scrolls that look like they're magical. Let's put it that way.
I am never playing
That's a
poker with
bonus.
Sarah.
That wasn't supposed to be in there, but I will say that I'll give you that for the 2 as well, in addition to the inspiration. There's a few spells that look, you recognize spell scrolls, but you would need to like sit and actually read them to figure out what is what. Yeah, anything else? I would also say anything on you that is not in the bag of holding, your thought process is it needs to go in there. Because the way I've heard a couple different interpretations of bags of holding, but the way I view it is, or the way that I was taught and the way I've stuck with, because I think it makes the most sense, is you stick your hand in there and you think of the thing, right? So your thought process is to get it as full as possible with all these valuables. They can't possibly know what's in there or get close. Like, sure, they're going to get the gold, they're going to get the gems, but you can't say like what means so much to this person, and they're going to get all your guys' like actual valuable stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that's your thought process. Anything like that. Let's shift back to outside. Well, that's really interesting. You say that, little guy. Because then that means that a different friend I made not too long ago was a liar. They're the one that told me y'all had a couple meetings with Strahd. Some interactions. You know, why don't I just bring that friend out here and y'all can hash it out, and then we find the truth, see where we're going. And he does a big whistle, which I'm not going to do to your guys' ears. And you see brought forward by two hulking werewolves in hybrid form, Esmeralda, bloodied and bruised and cut and stripped down to her like just she had that like leather bustier that doubled as like armor, right? And had some like greaves on. That's all gone. She's just in like very plain clothes. And her like eyes swollen. One of her eyes is swollen shut. There's a few claw marks around her collarbone and arms. You could see that she's been held in like squalid conditions. The blood has clearly like caked with mud or dirt of some sort and like stained the clothes. And roll. So Bastion, Slippy will give Bastion the help action, and Mavec and Oddwood roll. Or sorry, Slippy will give Oddwood the help action.
Okay.
Oddwood and Mavec, please roll a insight check.
All right. That is a strong 13.
Yeah.
It's a 9 for me.
Coming in hot.
She just looks fucked up. She just looks in bad shape. Yeah. See, your old traveling companion here, Esmeralda. She came back through and couldn't pay the toll. Pretty unfortunate. She had to do a little bit of entertaining. Got a little fighting pit for the boys, and Esmeralda here is sharp as a whip. But in between rounds and bouts of what I assure you were fair fights, Esmeralda gave up a lot of information. You see, she supposedly is trying to fight Strahd too, which is why she said she had to steal those letters from you. And then he pulls out from his coat a big stack of correspondence that Kruntle recognizes. Now, if I could read, I could probably tell you exactly how you've been coordinating with Strahd. But instead, I can just infer that you have obviously, well, the other thing, I forgot, oh my God, I'm forgetting. Look at me, in the heat of this moment, I have a major development that we learned has slipped my mind. Patience, your mama is Strahd's lapdog. Now, why you didn't feel free to share that, I'm sure we can all understand. Almost as if she was working with Strahd from the beginning. So I'll ask you again. How long y'all been working with Strahd? Now, don't answer. What I want you to do is put your weapons down. I believe it was Kruntle. Kruntle and Patience, if y'all could take a stroll out here, you'll find that there's nothing of real value left in there. Just a bunch of souvenirs.
Does Does Kiril have a direct line of sight on us? Probably not. I'm assuming not.
You can't know that. You from his voice? No. Oh, he doesn't have a line of sight. No. He's outside of the tent. Yeah. Sorry.
Great.
But he's outside of the tent.
Patience is gonna do the white woman thing and start crying on cue. And just walk out. How could you? I don't know where this is going.
Who are you saying that to?
Kiril. She's just crying and being distraught and hopefully distracting. Shrill noise in dog ears. I'm trying to be annoying.
Performance? Yeah, performance check, I guess.
Beautiful. Guidance. That is 28.
So, what are you trying to accomplish, though? What's the, like...
I don't know, distraction at some level of being shrill and loud, and I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Kruntle, do you come on out?
Yeah, I come on out right after Patience, sort of ducking my head and waving and nodding hello in a very meek way.
Yeah, I'm going to give y'all some time to think about the answers to the questions I've asked you. So you can fight and die. That's an option. It's always an option, which I would respect. Or you put your stuff down, put your weapons, all your stuff. Come with us. Come stay at our hospitable residence for guests. Stay a while. Think about your answers. Tell us the truth, and maybe we can come to an arrangement where you can redeem yourself for past sins. So what's it gonna be? We gonna fight? Or are you gonna come along nicely? And he's spinning almost like free juggling, right? But like the way a person would spin a pencil, his giant hands are spinning that large black cast iron spearhead with the red, deep red stained and leather wrapped wood handle.
It's not quite feeling like we really have a choice here.
Yeah, that's kind of just laughing Barovia, though, right?
Doesn't have to be. It's only that way because you make it that way. It's a shame, really. Life could be better.
Roll a deception check.
Deception, okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna have Kiril roll a perception.
Deception 18.
Okay, give me 1 second. Oops, that's the wrong sheet. There we go. Wow. Did you say 18?
I did.
You'll be surprised. Kiril is not a wise guy. Only a +1, but when you roll a 19, it works out nice. Kiril kind of looks at you, looks you over for a second, a little long, and strides up. Now listen here, little guy. I ain't the one that made the fucking world this way. Shit's always rolling downhill. I can choose to stop, but then I'll just be a bug squashed in the way. Instead, I made myself strong enough that anybody who's doing to me what I'm doing to you is forced to stop. Now, you can either change that about yourself or like I'm sure you've experienced many times in your life, you can keep being the one where the shit stops at when it's done rolling down the hill, all right? Ain't no change in this fucking world. Patience, are you still crying?
Yeah.
Trying to distract. You take 8 damage from a backhand, and Kiril says, "Save your tears for someone who gives a fuck. Ain't none of that
Spit
shit
blood on the
business gonna
ground.
fucking work around here."
Mavec snarls in a way that only one person in this group has ever heard, and he doesn't remember it.
Go ahead and roll an intimidation and a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Saving throw for the okay.
Yeah.
Intimidation is going to be a 21,
Nice.
and
He does have great Constitution.
12 on the con save.
Okay. He seems completely unfazed, and in fact, you see in a moment his face break, extend, jaws. His lower jaw extends as well. The ears come up out of the hair, and he growls louder at you, and you feel fear. It's the dog showing teeth, right? And you get a little bit of that. Not too bad, but yeah. He do you continue to aggress or do you retreat?
Mavec.
I will say you can't move forward. You are afraid of Kiril at this moment.
Yeah. No. She's not going to move. But she is going to. She would probably move in a way that's back, but to be in front of Patience.
And his face, you hear the crunching of bones and see the ugly transformation back to human, and you hear a little snicker. He says, "Yeah, that's what I thought. But I think you got the right kind of spirit to entertain the boys in a similar fashion to Esmeralda. So let's get back to camp. Let's get y'all settled in, and let's figure something out, all right?" Yeah, so you guys have everything taken. Were you going to try something right now, Patience?
I was just going to say, Patience spits her blood onto the ground and reaches into her boot and pulls her dagger out and grabs her rapier and just shoves it at his chest. Like, maybe you should learn some manners.
See, the thing about etiquette and manners is it's all relative. Somebody made up that bullshit a long time ago. And guess what? That bullshit don't fucking apply here. You're not under mommy's protection anymore. You should learn to keep your fucking mouth shut unless you want to keep spitting blood out. And he lets the weapons fall to the ground and walks away. Take them back to camp. Tie them up. Fingers and everything. And your hands are tied splayed like this, but behind you. And you are all gagged as well as you are walked into camp. Slippy, however, there is kind of no way to tie them up. So they shove them in a chest. Yeah, they load up all the bows. There's it looks like they have these like saddle bags for the dire wolves, and all your shit is just shoved in there. Yeah, we'll figure out what's worth something back at camp. And we'll get the answers that we need when we get there. Once you get to camp, there you are put into these. They're essentially just giant wooden cages. They are huge. Maybe like, yeah, they look like smaller trees, tree trunks. They were, and it's maybe like an 8-foot ceiling. You guys are all, it's just in like one, and you're thrown in there as well with Esmeralda. They cut your binds. And there's 2 people sitting at the edge of the like cage or whatever. What do you do?
So we're no longer.
I'm assuming
tied up?
Slippy's not in here with us.
Slippy is in fact did not come with you, and you have not seen them exit the chest.
Well, this sucks. Don't like it.
Otto's kind of rubbing his hands where the binds were.
What do we do?
What are we looking at? I mean, ideally, yes.
I'm very sorry. I didn't tell them you were working with Strahd. I just told them the truth. You can't know what they've done to me.
Can I roll an insight check on her, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do that. They're willingly gonna like fail at these sort of things.
Cool.
Whatever you get is.
Oh. Well, that's a natural 20, so.
Fuck.
You see through Esmeralda, the veins.
You see through to her soul and see that she is Strahd. I'm just kidding.
I knew it.
Papa, why are you here?
Damn. Fucking A. Courtney.
Yeah, what's that nat 20?
You motherfucker. Yeah, okay. You see someone. You see a very complex person in front of you. You see someone who is genuinely sorry that you're in a bind. That they did that. Something they did may have led to you being captured, right? So first off, you see that some sincerity, or a lot of pure sincerity around that point. What you also see with a nat 20, which I probably wouldn't have given you otherwise, is you also see that the moment they get a chance, you don't have to outrun a bear, or in this case, a wolf. You just have to run faster than the other person running from the wolf, right? You know what I mean? So there's that. There's an element of there's a strong survival instinct in this person, but you don't see like maliciousness around that, right? It's almost like is a lion evil for hunting, right? Gazelle. Gotcha. This is how this person has operated, as a spy, as a I mean, they stole from Kruntle, right? They operated in the carnival for years, unknown, and they ran into some really bad luck. But you see a genuine person in front of you, who's both sad and angry and scared. Very, very scared. You also, sorry,
Mhm.
this is the last thing that, again, I wouldn't have given you other than that 20. That's not her real voice. That's not how she talks.
Okay.
You heard, because this person reminds you so much of Evie, you recognize the dialect is copied because of the way that she pronounced a certain syllable is not the actual way you pronounce it.
Okay. Esmeralda, darling, could you... I don't know. I can't speak for anyone else here. I think this situation is horrible, and I don't know what I would have done in the same position. I have no blame for you here, but any information you can give us about what you've seen, numbers, anything would be so helpful.
It does seem... Well, I'll just go back to the beginning. After that morning, when I left you in the mists, I was on my way back to a colleague, and I was apprehended. I was taken. I don't know. Usually pretty slippery and able to get out of these kind of things, and I just wasn't. There was too many. They were too fast. It's almost as if they knew I was coming. But I was captured, and, well, I guess I can't. Well, you were probably going to run into him sometime anyway. The colleague I was going to meet up with is the mad mage that they, or the the mage that they, that has been so terrorizing them. And they knew me as one of their compatriots, recognized me, and I was taken. Even though we are also fighting against Strahd, this disagreement, it developed over the ways or means, or I don't know, and I just know that, and I'm very sorry, Kruntle, but I do believe that my master is closer to doing what needs to be done in destroying the evil of Barovia than you all are. And he's, to be quite honest, a lot more capable.
Well, now Kiril has it all, so I hope you feel better about yourself.
Well, he doesn't have it all. And El Padre will come. I know this. I don't know how long, but he will break me out. And we can
Padre?
get... Well, that's kind of the name he goes by. Yeah, him and Kiril. It's how Strahd has continued to win. Is any form of serious resistance is continually fractured. There's no... If you make things clouded and confusing enough and make it seem like nobody's good or good enough to fight for or good enough to follow or smart enough or brave enough or whatever, and you just cloud and you just flood the zone with shit and rumors and risings and fallings, nobody ever knows who to trust. And at the moment of any provocation, well, I'm sure you've seen what happened to Madame Ava. And that's the cycle. For centuries. He doesn't need to use force. He uses us as pawns. I've told him many times now he needed to make peace with Kiril, that it was only going to end bad. Now it seems I am the one it's going to end bad for. But no, he has to come. He knew he was counting on this information.
How long have you been here?
Since hours after I left you.
So
We're
going on
5 days.
4 days.
5 days, almost a week.
How long would it have taken you to get to where you were going?
About 7.
So we have 2 days to wait. 2 more days of torment and torture. I would ask you to perhaps place what little faith you didn't have in us before in us now.
Speaking of faith in people, everybody roll an insight check.
Guidance?
21. Rolling good today.
11.
Sarah's rolling hot.
I am.
12.
So, yeah.
Mavic's pissed
Yeah.
at everything.
Oddwood's just
13.
shutting down too.
Yeah, Oddwood, you hear ink in your head. We gotta get the fuck out of here. We gotta get the fuck out of here. This is bad. This is really fucking bad.
Yeah.
I don't
know.
What do we do?
I'm figuring
You're
that
smart.
out. I'm figuring that out.
Oh, fuck. Oh, by the way, you can add, I will say you haven't imparted enough for like full half plate, but you can add 1 to your AC, and yours is not changing because it's part of you. So your armor is,
So I had half plate to begin with, but not full plate.
got it. Okay, so then you could just we'll get you like a half plate plus 1, and we'll say it's magical
Oh.
for now. And then that's right. We were going from half to full. So we'll do a half plate plus 1. But your whip of warning, I know we've like flavored it as it's like ink, is not. You do not have that. Any magical items you have other than Bastion's armor, and I think your arm is part of yourself too, right? Or something like
My thunder gauntlets.
that. Yeah. So those 2 things. For yours, and then the same. I'm trying to think of anything else with anybody else.
I do have my gloves of, I think, thievery. Are
Yeah, those are
invisible
gone.
gloves.
You guys are down to like this is you got arrested in.
Right. Just the gloves are invisible on my skin.
Oh. Roll a deception at advantage.
Sure.
We'll errata that real
I'll have to
quick.
do that with my skin. 16 plus 2, 18.
Okay, and I'll roll this at disadvantage. I guess I'll just roll Kiril. Sure. Oops, that's Mavec. Nope. with a 4 on the die, that will not do it. You got your gloves.
Okay, cool.
But for everybody else, or what's up?
My holy symbol. It was made. Oddwood had basically made it look completely black. So at this point, it just looks like a black, like.
But it was like on your outer cloak, though, right?
Clip. But it looks like a thing to keep my cloak.
Well, yeah, I
closed.
just mean they like took your whole like that's what I was saying. Like this is like Skyrim.
Okay.
You got taken to the dungeon. You're like in small clothes. They took.
All of you to assume I play video games.
Oh.
No, sir. Only D&D at all times. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Yeah, they took all like your stuff, right? I mean, the only reason Kruntle's keeping his, you literally like you're in the like, right? Almost all armors, and I think all of you have armor except Patience. Have like underclothes you wear, like that's what you're in. Patience, if you weren't wearing armor, or were you?
I have an elven chain.
Yeah, they for sure took that. Yeah, you guys are all in your clothes. The only one with the raised AC is Oddwood.
I'm so squishy.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are. Okay. Yeah, we rolled insights 9, Mavec?
Yeah.
Was it you?
No, 12.
12. Did somebody else roll a 9?
I rolled a 13.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. 12, 13,
11.
11. What'd you get, Kruntle?
It was what was the roll?
I think it was 21. Right? It was the insight.
Oh yeah.
21. Yeah. Okay. Everybody else is busy thinking about what they're thinking about, and you see Patience sort of running the questioning. Oddwood looks very distracted. They keep trying to look for the chest that Slippy's in, trying to look all over camp. And Mavec still seems to be like reeling from he's shaking with anger almost. But you know a liar when you see one. Esmeralda you know a ruse when you see one. Esmeralda is not lying to you, but she is not telling you everything. Yes, so he'll come if we can make it out in 2 days. When I don't show up, he'll come here, and he has ways of traveling faster and locating even through the mists.
I'm not willing to wait here for 2 days. Slippy is missing still.
She is.
We're not going to allow them to be stuck in whatever fucking box they've got them in. 2 days is far too long. 2 more minutes is an eternity, and I will not stand for it idly.
Well, then what will we... If you know a way...
I need time to think, I suppose. But you've been here so much longer than the rest of us. You have to have seen something. Movements. We saw so many at the camp, but you have more information. You have to. Inconsequential things. Anything.
From what I know, at the camp at any given time, there is somewhere between 12 to 15. And there's usually 3 of the wolves are in camp. And then whether it's patrols or whatever. And whenever the scouts see what they see and someone's coming up the road, there seems to be some sort of system to alert, and they go and they leave minimal people at camp, these two individuals, and she like points to the people that are it's like a human, and the other one is a damn fear. They stay here, as well as, and you see now, Esmeralda points, and larger than any of the other dire wolves, like quite a bit larger, is these two individuals, and that wolf stay here and guard the camp. They are some sort of mages. They don't. So you can try something, but it will get shut down. I did have another prisoner in here with me, another inmate, a few days ago. And they were a spellcaster, and found out very quickly that the reflexes of these two individuals are formidable.
He said you fought them for entertainment.
Well, yes, that was one of the fights, was with the other prisoner.
Ah, was it ever with them, one of the wolves?
Yes.
Or,
They also have smaller wolves. They would not set an individual with the dire. They haven't. But they have put me in the ring with a whip and a training sword and 3 wolves. And played to see how long she can last.
Right. I think we need to find our stuff and get the hell out of here.
If this is purely a guess, because the only place I've seen in this camp is from here to, and then she points, and you can kind of see half of it. There's just you could smell the meat coming, right? The stew or whatever is cooking. You see some tables, and then there's it's just like, it looks like a fence post, like ring, right? There's just it looks really nice though, because there is like leathers, because it looks like they don't want things to come out from underneath, right? But there's like fence posts, maybe like 6 feet high, and it looks like a cage, but instead of wire fence, it's leathers that are like crossed. So it kind of just looks like a cage. The only places I've seen is from here to there, but Kiril's tent, and you see on the other side of camp, that's Kiril's tent over there, and you can see, again, standing larger than any of the others and a little bit separate. It's even got like, it looks like 2 little like side wings, and it looks like a semi-permanent, right? A lot of the other like tents and stuff are just that, but this looks like it has some sort of like framing, like wood framing kind of thing. I would imagine your stuff's in there. Kiril is not. He's not exactly he's fucking paranoid. Doesn't trust anyone.
Yeah, that clocks. He's scared of everybody. You can tell.
How far are we from like the edge of the mists?
You're in like a wooded area. they took you deep off the path. Like this is like cut out clearing, carved out clearing, like in what would otherwise be just like the middle of the woods. It's far enough that you can't even really see it.
Gotcha.
And there's also just like so many trees and like sort of just whatever in the way.
Yeah.
It seems to me that going to fight for the entertainment might be the best place to start.
Well, I don't think there's going to be very many options. But I also... It's like I said, there was 2 of us. I don't know what they would aim to do with you all.
She actually curls her lip at Esmeralda. She doesn't say anything, but she just kind of sneers at her before looking around.
She just looks contrite. Is there any other questions you want to ask? Anything else for right now?
I can't think of anything.
No.
Oddwood, roll a history check.
You got it. That is a nat 1. I'm going to use lucky.
This is a very good use of lucky.
And yeah, let's try that again. That's still only a 9. I'm going to go ahead and use knowledge from a past life to add a d6.
Don't even roll it. The minimum DC was 10.
Okay.
Well, is it a D6?
Yeah.
Roll it. Yeah, go ahead and roll it then.
That only brought me to an 11.
Okay. I was gonna say in case you rolled a 6. You have heard the name Ilpave from your time at the college.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's something to do with Madame Ava.
Yeah, and so it's all kind of clouded right now to you, right? It's a lot like Esmeralda said. It's tough to figure out. Maybe that's why Oddwood's taking a back seat or sort of distracted, right? He's trying to puzzle out what's the truth here, because everything he heard from what little he heard before meeting Madame Ava was that Madame Ava was sort of the heart of the resistance. You all know for a good amount of certainty that she's like somewhat of a cult leader to the Vistani, and that the Vistani are often seen as the sort of middle finger, if you will, or the resistance to Strahd. The information she gave you was useful. So that further confirmed, right? It was helpful. You also know that Strahd went there and she wasn't killed by Strahd. So if she is the heart of the resistance, how much is she resisting? And then then that begs the question of, well, then how much is she cooperating if Kiril, who's very clearly seems like a true believer, was so deeply opposed that he killed her? So there's just a lot unanswered.
Oddwood's gonna like lean over to Patience. Patience. There's some requirements or something that protects the Vistani. Does that extend to Strahd or just the Mists? Do you know?
I've only known that I'm Vistani for...
Which one of you read Which one of you read?
I read Barov's book. Kruntle read.
You know that answer. Then
Okay.
it was fresh enough and it was recent enough that it wasn't. I might have missed it in what I was explaining to you because I was giving you guys a lot. But I think you did get to the deal, right?
Yeah, we did.
And the protection extends to. I was gonna give you the more detailed the next time, right? But I'll say you like started getting into it and you just haven't like fully got the translation or the like, right? But from what you can understand, the protection does extend to Strahd. That Strahd, a lot of the powers he has over the land do not affect the Vistani, which is also why the Vistani play a very important role in any effort to either kill Strahd or get rid. Right. So, from what you learned from Barov's book, right? Or Kruntle learned from the letters, not Barov's book yet. From what Kruntle learned in the letters is that Strahd killed his father in an attempt killed his brother and his father in essentially like a disagreement. Things escalated. You're not really sure 100%. A lot of it had to do with like resentment. Him and his brother had different ideas about the way things should move forward. Andrej wanted to end the sort of like imperialistic ways, and
Andrej?
Strahd just wanted, or sorry, Sergey. Andrej is on the mind. Sergey wanted to end the sort of like imperialistic rule, and wanted to just like sort of let their father die, and was sort of trying to convince Strahd to like let it go and just wait him out, just go your own way. And in an effort to defend his father, Strahd killed both of them. And Strahd became the ruler of Barovia, and that's how he became. But that anybody else who would want to take over, not in the like von Zarevich family, it needs to be a Vistani, because the powers that Strahd has don't apply to Bastion. Yeah, and that's sort of how they, right? Like, it's not a skill, it's not something they teach or whatever, right? It is literally like there's like in their blood, there's a protection that the witch woman who bartered the deal created protection for her and her people, and that protection goes on.
Yeah. So not even like waiting for an answer from Patience, like making it immediately clear that Patience is being used like rubber duck programming is like, right, because then if Strahd couldn't kill Madame Ava himself, the best thing to do would be to convince other people that Madame Ava was working with him, right?
Yeah, that's cunning,
Yeah.
that is.
That's yeah.
Courtney, you roll an Arcana check. And because it has to do with you, you can roll it at advantage.
Guidance. Ooh. That is a 24.
That's the Arcana check I needed. Because the last time I had you do one about this, it was abysmal. You realize when you're thinking about this that something complicates the protection that Vistani have, because you, being Damphir and sharing blood with Strahd, are also Vistani. And you recognize or realize as Oddwood is talking to you in the sense that he was trying to charm you magically, not just that both times he met you, that it was subtle, that you didn't catch any hand movements, you didn't see him mumble anything, right? Like, you've seen people and you've casted some spells on the sly. There was nothing, but you recognize now, looking back as you sit here in this moment, and you recognize, no, that was an effect. That was something reached out, and the first time was successful in touching me. So something complicated that protection. And you can probably surmise that it has to do with the blood connection that you do share with Strahd.
I don't know if it's because I'm Damphir of Strahd in a way, but he was able to cast magic on me as well. And I am also Vistani. So I have a theory about who Madame Eva might actually be. And it's in regards to what we read in Barov's, or what you read in Barov's journal. I think she was the broker. I think she...
The witch?
I think she is the one who set up the deal. Theory, of course.
It's a good theory. Unfortunately, we have no one to ask.
Well, not currently, but if we get our things back, I may have stuffed her head in the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody roll a perception check.
Shit.
Let's hope that wasn't overheard. A 12.
7.
Perception?
Mm-hmm.
18.
22.
18 is really good, but it's not a 20. Patience. Your eyes keep being drawn to Esmeralda, almost inadvertently, because she reminds you of Evie. And you see in that moment, when you say, I believe she was the broker, a look of like, yeah, sure, right? Like a scoffing at your supposition. And then an 18 is good enough to hear, though, and so is a 7, and so is a 12, and so is a 2. And whatever else he has rolled. The sound of a dinner bell ringing. And up comes Kiril. Well, how y'all doing? Y'all had some time to talk. He also has an individual to his right. Now, that was also standing back with him at the camp, but as you recognize now, is clearly like his like second in command, or like the other, like this, like one of his sort of consigliere of some sort. Couldn't draw like a more stark contrast to Kiril. Maybe this reminds me a lot of like Dravlov, actually, a very like self-comported type A. He's like very clean and neat. His fucking beard is trimmed. And he's the only one that you've seen the whole time has been in human form. Hybrid or werewolf yet. Yeah, y'all have some time to think. It's dinner time, so we're gonna have a little bit of entertainment, and I believe that after that entertainment, you will be much more inclined to be more open and honest about your futures. And if everybody could give me an insight at disadvantage.
$11.
Ooh.
8.
15 plus 6. What does that mean?
21 at disadvantage.
Yeah, I rolled a 12 on the die and an 18, and then I guided myself with the 3. So
What are the
Seven.
what are the components for guidance?
Gotcha. It is verbal somatic.
Okay. I'll say they let that slide. As long as they don't see offensive spells or anything to try to get you out, they're not going to waste their counter spells on guidance. As someone who specialized in creating wedges where there was only a small opportunity for you see on this man next to Kiril's face disgust.
At Kiril?
Yes. When he's mentioning the entertainment and he's mentioning the stuff, you see a little of you see his face react to attention, and you are apt enough to understand that it is like a disgust or like a dislike. He didn't like that. You guys are bound again. You're not gagged this time. But they have, and this time they bound your hands together like so. And then they lead you in front of you. They lead you to the table, and you guys are sitting at a table. And you see, no perception check necessary, a person butt naked, tied up like a dog at the edge of the kitchen. And it is Andrej. They
Hi, baby.
are caked and covered. It looks like they've been there for days. Okay. Yeah, you are poured a bowl of what looks like scraps. The like leftover. It's just like tendons, and not even the bones. Right. It is just like the silver fat and ends of carrots and onion paper and that kind of stuff. Is what you're served. And they put a little spoon into your hands. After you eat, once everybody's eating and things are getting going, Kiril stands up. He walks to the center of the ring. He's got that big spear on him. All right, everybody. I know y'all been waiting for tonight's entertainment. It's a very special evening. We have our guests of honor. And he gestures to y'all. Our special guests of honor here call for special entertainment. And that we will bring. And he does another whistle. Bring out the equipment. And you see you see a very familiar bow come out. And a rapier. And 2 people carrying a chest. And then the next thing you see coming from the other side is 3 wolves, and that they let into the ring. with muzzles.
We were bound with manacles, correct?
It's just ropes. Yeah, they know spellcasters. Your hands are like, your fingers are,
Can I look for anything that's rusted metal?
Sure.
Perception check?
Yeah. Or an investigation, because you're looking for something in your area. They're not going to let you like get up, so.
Okay. 3, 11, 3, 14, 18.
Yeah, there's nothing. This is you're in the mud. You're sitting. You're not even sitting like on a bench or anything. It looks like this is a bench seat that they put your food on in front of you and sat you on the floor, right at the edge of this sort of cage. They seem practiced at this. Okay. Yeah. And so he says, "All right, now. We're going to get tonight's entertainment started, and if you, our guest of honor, decide at any moment that you're ready to come and tell the truth, and you're ready to turn from the Dark Lord and share with us, one, everything that's in that fucking bag, and tell me why I can't stick my fucking head in it.
Oh, you can stick your head in it. I assure you.
You should try harder.
You keep flapping that tongue, Kruntle, and that's gonna be a stub.
I'm gonna put a knife in your back.
Roll a stealth check.
Oh, what?
What's your what's it called? Or were you trying to say that to him?
Oh, I was saying that too.
With his full chest to his face.
Kiril laughs at that a little bit. And he's like, well, I can't let that happen. So I won't. And he walks up and he chops your hands off. You take You take 22 points of damage.
Okay.
10 slashing and 12 necrotic from that spear. And it burns all the way up your arms. Not like fire. You feel like your arms are dying. You feel like they are both on fire and withering and aging in a million years in a second. But you're not bleeding out.
I am screaming though.
Yes.
A lot.
You see, Kruntle, I'm not a man of many words. Although I have been proudly put in this position by my peers because of my ability to use these words. I am a man of action. So I'm just not going to let you stab me in the front. Can't stab. You got no hands though, right? All right. Let's get this started. One of you dress him up. He's still. And he also takes your hands and he goes, "Here, boy." And Andrej, in a very sad, what looks like practiced way, comes. Again, he's chained to this post like a dog, but comes to the edge and he throws. So there's your dinner for tonight. Your hands to
David, are you okay? Are you okay? Do you need
fine.
a moment? Do you want to talk about anything?
Right?
Yeah, I'm fine. You guys are not. I feel like I gave fair warning that one, this is a horror
Yeah.
season, and that two, Kiril told Kruntle to shut the fuck up.
Did.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So let's get the entertainment started, and let's have a chat. Well, that's going on, all right? And that is where we're gonna take our break. Let's get back into it. So, Kruntle, you are sort of in and out of consciousness.
Yeah.
With pain, so you don't really know what's going on. Mavec, you are buzzing. I need you to roll me a Constitution saving throw. And you know what happens if you fail.
Yeah, I do. I don't know if I want it to happen.
We win the game.
16. 16.
You maintain control. But you also remember your dream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oddwood, roll me. I wish there was like a composure check, but I feel like Constitution saving throw feels right.
You got it, boss. 26.
Okay, your wits are about you. You're not. You have moved past shock and are sort of in. You have like a battle sense. This is. It's similar to the how you feel when you're performing, right? Oddwood is not necessarily the most like coordinated guy, and he's not necessarily like nobody would pick him out as like an athlete anymore. Mostly because his body is held together by goo.
Yeah.
But when Oddwood performs, it is virtuoso. It is magnificent, graceful, beautiful, and that is sort of where you feel right now, right? Which is you have a clear head and you're ready to go. But you are very worried as that chest sits closed, and those wolves who foam at the mouth are at the other edge of the cage. And patience. Go ahead and roll for me a roll another investigation.
Hold on, I need to see if I can guide myself if I'm bound. I don't think I can. No. Okay. It's a natural one. Which means something happens.
Oh, yeah. You got to roll, or I give the next time you're gonna check, right? It's like
I have to roll on a table to see
Yeah.
what happens.
to see. Oh, you have to roll. Oh, that's what it is. You roll the table first. Okay, so
Yeah.
go ahead and make that roll.
I'm just finding it. Is that at the bottom? There we go. I am deaf for 1 minute.
Well, that's good. Okay. Yeah, because you don't hear Andrej sobbing as you hear a couple of pretty cruel men. Eat the fucking meat. Eat it. Eat the hands. And you don't hear the sound that involuntarily leaves Oddwood's throat as Slippy is let out of the chest. And it looks like too, as well, right? Slippy looks like they're having a harder time holding themselves together. It looks like their clothes served a function as well. They look a little more amorphous and a little less humanoid right now.
Do they have my homunculus?
They do, but you don't see it on them. You see it in them.
Okay.
You see it floating. Man, this should have been a roll, but it's fine. Okay. You. Okay. Yeah. All right, there, Patty. Make sure she's all, or make sure they're all set up there for the.
Oh, good. I'm glad that Kiril respects the pronouns,
Right?
at least.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's a line.
It
And
might be
that,
a monster, but they're not going to misgender.
He's a psychopath, but
This is the free land of the wolves. Patty, go ahead and you see when he says Patty, he's talking to the person to his the guy that's always like sort of been right by him every time.
Mhm.
Go ahead and make sure they're set up there. Yeah, we want this to be a fair fight. Go run along. And again, you see a little look of frustration. Slippy is given, like, it looks like the most useless armor in the world. It literally looks like that, like, training bamboo shoots style, right? Like, it's just one hard blow is gonna crack that. But they are given their bow. It is their bow. It is not the
Not like a crappy.
yeah, it's not just like a crappy some piece of junk. So we're now going to enter bit of a challenge. I'm going to ask for insight. I don't know. I always think perception and insight like the same fucking roll. We're gonna ask for insight and either persuasion or deception rolls based on what. So we're gonna go round by round, and Slippy, I will be rolling stuff on my end to see how long Slippy can hold out. You will get a minimum of 3 rounds, essentially, right? And so before each round, you guys have to declare who's going to be the 2. And in each round, it can't be the same people. It has to be 2 different each time. So if you want to, like, we're always going to go together, and they're always going to go together, or, like, do some sort of rolling thing, whatever, that's up to y'all. But each round is going to last 2 minutes. In those 2 minutes, you are going to decide, you're going to roll insight to see what he wants to hear, and then you're going to tell him either the truth or a lie and how convincing that's going to be. And then we'll role play it when the round's over. If you finish before the 2 minutes, great. If you don't, but that's the time you all get to have non-verbal communication with each other, okay? Okay. First round. And we'll also be giving as I roll, I'll give you the sort of the play-by-play of how Slippy's doing. Okay, so the timer or here, I'll let you guys decide when you decide who's gonna go first or whatever.
I have a quick question about what's happening on the field first.
What's up?
How close are we to it, and do we have a chance to interact with what's happening on the field?
You are, excuse me, probably like 15 feet, maybe 10, maybe let's call it 10. Let's call it 10.
Great.
Not too far. Yeah, I mean, you can't interact with much. You're bound. You're seated on the floor. There's a leather cage in front of you. This is a skill challenge.
Yeah.
The thing, the objective. Patience, roll an insight and advantage to yourself.
Those are both 11, so 17.
You have a memory of your father as you're frantically thinking of how can we help Slippy? How can we escape? How the fuck do we get out of this? And you feel this like deep desperation. You have this memory of your father. And he says to you, and it was after a bout of particularly frustrating fencing lessons, where he sort of didn't go easy on you, and he's just scoring point after point after point on you. And you're only like 12 or 13, and you cry a little bit. And he comes next to you. This is my dear. First of all, this is training. There's no blood. There's nothing to be frustrated with. Secondly, you shouldn't have talked all that shit. You should have known I was going easy on you. Daddy had to show you. But lastly, and most importantly, brute force is not how we win. And that's what you remember.
I have a +6 to insight, by the way, guys, so I'm fine with being an insight person.
Any questions? Other questions? Before we you guys do your thing. No? Okay.
No.
Alright, I'm going to start rolling, figure it out, and once you give me the 2, I'll start the timer.
I am bad at all of these skills. My best is a +2 to insight here. So
Yeah, who else has good insight? Anybody?
I have +5.
I have +6.
Okay, how are you, Kruntle, how are you on deception and persuasion?
+2 for both.
Me too. So,
+11 to both.
Nice.
yeah, okay, so you don't, how about Kruntle and I do insight, switch off on that, and then you two can do whatever it ends up needing to be? Okay. I can go first on the insight.
yeah, let's let Patience lead on the persuasion or deception, depending on the question.
I'm fine with doing that, like, just pairs, like, just ping pong back and forth.
Okay, then we're going to go ahead and start the timer. The first thing he asks you is, how long have you been working with Strahd?
Okay.
Let's get the insight check. What does he want to hear?
It's a 16.
16. It's unlikely any answer not in the positive, right? If you don't confirm, there's almost no way he's going to accept that answer. If you don't confirm that we were working with Strahd. You just got 16, so yeah, that's the most I can give you.
Yeah.
You got a minute 15 left.
Yeah, I glance at Patience and just say the first time he came and met you.
That was like a week ago? 2 weeks ago?
After your father's death.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm rolling persuasion,
Yeah.
I guess.
What are you persuading him? That you're telling the truth in what you're saying, or that you are, like, what's the...
Right. That the first time that I had ever really spoken with Strahd was 2 weeks ago, after my father's death.
So honesty, you're trying to convey.
Yeah.
So you're giving more on. So you're going to give him essentially 15 seconds. You're going to give him. Let's confirm it right now. Are you going to tell him the timeline of when? Are you going to tell him that you were doing it in order to try to take him down and just not die, or were you going to say you were doing?
He said
you were
no.
Really
He said, "How long have you worked with Strahd?" He said, "How long you worked with Strahd?" He said, "I talked to him."
Well, I'm just telling you. I'm just asking you this question because it's important for the role.
I'm being as honest as possible about when the first time I ever spoke with Strahd was. Anything else he can infer.
Okay. Make the roll.
That is a 22 persuasion.
Okay. 1 second. Slippy looks shaken. Maybe it was the time in the chest. Maybe whatever. But they take. You see a pretty big glob fall off of one of their appendages. And Kiril says, "All right." So about 2 weeks ago, or so. Seems like you're telling the truth. What has he got planned? What do y'all got planned together? And let's go.
Alright, what's our insight?
Do we have to switch that up? Who's rolling what again?
Yeah, Sarah's rolling.
Right,
for
so it's
Kruntle.
me now.
Okay.
So, oh, lovely. 9.
Your instinct is just tell the truth, y'all. Yeah. By the way, so the one person is rolling, but it's essentially for the group. All of you feel like let's just tell the truth, I guess. I don't know what he wants, but I guess we just.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I will tell the truth. I will roll persuasion. I'm going to tell him that Strahd also cannot leave Barovia and wishes to be rid of his curse, and that we are hoping to find a way to end this curse. Our next step was to go to his manor.
You hear one of the wolves snap in the background at each other.
I'm gonna lucky that roll. Again, this feels like a thing I don't want to fuck up.
You down
Oh,
two,
nat
right?
20!
Nat 20.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Okay, everybody roll. We're pausing the thing right now. Everybody roll an insight check.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
24.
19.
Who got a 4?
24.
Oh, 24.
Nobody. We're all 19 was
got
the
all
lowest
19
roll.
You okay? So you all see flash over his face, confusion and a little bit of fear. Or sorry, more fear, a little bit of confusion. Where'd y'all? Oh, also, sorry. Before we move on, Slippy looks like they got their footing back, and has injured one of the wolves pretty badly. They're really, really limping on their front leg. But the other two are. Slippy's doing a really good job of maneuvering, but they are trying to corner her and get that real good flanking advantage. How do y'all? Well, let me get this straight. He came to you asking to break the curse? Or no, he just came offering Patience a job. You guys said you wanted... How do y'all learn about... What? Where did you go? Where did Madame Ava send you? And we're going to start once you pick who's rolling what.
Laura, insight.
Okay. And we're going to start. Go ahead.
All right. It's a 17, so one higher for insight.
This felt like a performance. This felt like maybe you're a little bit familiar with this kind of stuff. By the way, you're paused right now.
Okay.
This felt like a performance. It felt like he was just going to kill you all at the end. You all felt that, right? There was no good ending of this. The idea that Strahd is trying to end the curse feels like very new information to him, and he is now intrigued. And is now interested in hearing whatever information you have. And it would seem... What did you say you got insight? 17?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just see him eager for information. We'll put it that way. Okay, timer start again.
I'm gonna roll persuasion again.
Yeah. I say we just tell him we went to the dragon house.
Yeah, it's only a 14 persuasion.
Well, okay, so this is where I'm gonna. This is when I gotta adjudicate a little bit. Again, time response. Are you going to tell him everything you got at the dragon house? And are you including the egg? Because if you are going to hide or deceive anything, this is not a persuasion.
I personally don't want to tell him that we have a dragon egg.
Yeah. Same.
Did we put the dragon egg in the bag of holding?
In the bag of holding.
So
Okay.
I would say the three things that you have that would, for your insight, right? The three things you have that you think would interest him are the books, obviously, and the dragon egg. You also got that other stuff from the basement, right? So you can deceive by giving that as fodder and rolling it and withholding the really interesting stuff. I will give you advantage if you give up one of those three items
I would
as
give
information, as the thing you found.
give
for
the
it.
Guardian's journal.
Yeah,
Guardian's journal.
Yeah.
I'll give you advantage on deception if you give up one of those. No. One of either the dad's,
Strahd's.
Barrow, Strahd's, or the egg. If you give up one of those three things as information, as like we found this there, I will give
Strahd's
you advantage
journal.
on deception.
Strahd's
If you
journal.
withhold all three, you just roll in deception straight. And if you tell them about everything, then you get persuasion. With advantage.
I'm
fine with
Strahd's journal.
I'm fine with that. Although I'd be very funny to see a werewolf get fucked up by an egg. So because it's the psychic damage.
Nice baby.
No, we're
So
not
I
getting the baby. Give him Strahd's journal.
Yeah. Okay, so I already rolled one that was a 3 on the die, but you're giving me advantage for giving up the journal, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Better be glad.
ooh. 18 plus 11, 29? There was a journal. It's Strahd's journal. We found it at the temple up in the mountains with the dragons outside.
You see him pause there for a second. And in the background, Slippy has put an arrow through one of the wolves' throats and injured another. She's doing very well right now. But it's not as bad. The other there's 2 left, and one's bleeding, but it's not like on death's door. I'll say it's Slippy's not out of the woods yet, but they look like they're gaining their footing. What's that?
I would like to do the equivalent of readying in action here. That if, like, Slippy does go down, I want to attempt to break out of my binds and cast Cure Wounds.
Cure
Honestly,
wounds?
I would like to have healing word.
What are the
on-
elements to those spells?
Vocal and somatic.
But you have to touch for that, right?
That's what the
Yeah.
homunculus is for.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Start touching.
I will tell you right now, you can do that. That's totally fine. It is going to be a very high DC to break out of your bonds. It's
Even
going
as a
to be
contortionist?
yeah. Shit, yeah, I guess that's a good point. They don't really know. They haven't seen you do that.
I don't know shit about.
It'll be lower.
Okay.
Healing word is completely only vocal and 60 feet.
Yeah, this thing's probably about 30 feet around. Yeah, you're within range for. There is also those
Yeah.
two wizards there, though. You see.
Yeah,
just so you
but
know.
at least I'm gonna.
I know.
yeah, so that's-
yeah. You want to take the chance or whatever, right? Like, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Bastion, you and me on the same page, baby.
Okay, so you gave up the book, and he sits there for a second, and he looks right, and you see that happen behind you, and you hear the crowd go, when the wolf goes down, and you hear just like a very whimper as it eats it. Kiril's sitting there, and he's kind of like rubbing his finger on the edge of this blade that doesn't look sharp. This spear looks, like I said, it's cast iron spearhead, right? So it looks like it's so fucking heavy, and then it doesn't function as all like a spear should. Like it doesn't look weighted right. He's just kind of rubbing it. And he takes the spear and he puts it directly at Patience's neck. He says, "Girl, right now I'm telling you what happened to Kruntle will look like a fucking picnic if I reach into that bag and what you're saying is in there doesn't come out. You understand me?" I said, do you fucking understand me?
Of course.
Patty, get the bag. And we're gonna go again. This time he asks, if you... Shit, Patience just went this last time, huh? Okay. Kruntle, you will have to roll. Or is it your turn, right?
Yeah, it's my
Yeah,
turn.
it's your turn. Kruntle has to roll the persuasion or deception this time.
Okay.
You. Why'd you come to Barovia?
So I'm doing the insight and the persuasion.
No.
No.
No, someone else has to do the insight. Okay.
Yes.
Doing
Again, these are like
instant.
you're rolling as an individual, but it's for the group.
Right.
That is a 14.
not
Leveraging
sure.
knowledge from a past life.
Yeah. Good call. You guys are not rolling well on these insight checks, and it is devastating me.
I've changed dice every single time.
My patience dice that I got is like, it's good shit. It's very nice to me. Okay.
What do we get on 14 insight?
Oh, I thought you were gonna do something.
That was with that.
Oh, that was with that.
That was with the past
Yeah,
life.
that was
yeah.
it.
Yeah, you're not sure. You're not Kruntle. You're unsure what the right move is.
Okay, well, I'm just going to tell him the truth about how I came looking for a way to get rid of my curse. So I guess that's persuasion.
Yeah, and you can roll that with advantage.
Okay. Persuasion's +2. Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. My high roll was a 7, so 9. as I say, I've got a curse. I was born without a shadow, and then I got a special shadow, and it's been fucking with my life ever since. And I came to get rid of it, and I found a scroll at Candlekeep that said that someone had. Oh God, my arms hurt so bad. Oh, this is a curse. I'm trying to get rid of the curse. You asshole.
You walk up to Kiril.
I do?
Or sorry, Kiril walks up to you.
Oh.
I'm like, no, I don't. I sure
Yeah, I
don't.
think I do.
Oh,
That asshole cut my hands off.
Kiril's been sitting. They brought over this bigger chair, closer to a throne-ish thing, right? Like it's the nicest chair here, right? He gets up out of the chair and he walks over to you. Now, if that ain't the biggest load of, and unawares, your shadow pops up.
Ooh.
And stabs him in the clavicle. Looks like it's a good shot.
Fucking
Kruntle
told
tells
you I
no
would.
lies.
What you were not prepared to see, and what shocks probably everyone here, is just in instinct, in reaction, Kiril takes the spear, drives it up through your shadow,
Oh,
and your shadow falls limp.
oh, that's bad.
He flips around the spear, knocks you in the face, and you are out of this skill check. And now, each of you will roll individually, and one of them you will roll at disadvantage. And you can pick which one you roll at disadvantage in the rounds. As Kruntle is knocked unconscious, and the shadow lays on the ground with more shadow spilling out as it loses its distinct Kruntle shape. You also see Slippy take out another wolf, but the other wolf used that moment of anticipation to take another, like a very big chunk out of Slippy. This is looking not to be punny, but this is looking dire.
It's a slippery situation.
At this point, Patty comes back, and Kiril reaches into the bag. And you see him kind of like doing his thing, and then the Tome of Strahd comes out. Holy shit! Look at that! Y'all got some survival instinct. All right. One last question. Where's the Padre? So you guys can pick who goes. And you
But
pick
only
who
one
goes.
person rolling,
One person rolling.
not
And we have to-
Otto.
Okay, we have to choose if we're doing insight or the deception persuasion at disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
If we do, I have a plus 11 to both persuasion and deception. Disadvantage is in our
fine.
favor.
Hmm.
No,
Do we
it's
want it-
one person is rolling both.
Oh, fuck me. Okay, well,
And that person picks whether it's persuasion/deception that they roll at disadvantage, or the insight that they roll at disadvantage.
I would
Okay, I
kill for one more level. Like,
I would
can
say
I
too.
order
I'll tell you-
pizza to your place to get one more level for Flash of Genius?
Can I just Hulk out and then get that level and then?
I
No,
will
just kidding.
give you this bit of information for these rolls, right? If this round goes well, this skill challenge ends. If it doesn't, we're gonna roll to see how things turn out for Slippy.
Okay.
I feel like
Esmeralda.
Hmm?
We don't know where Padre is. Esmeralda does.
I feel like we can't have persuasion or deception at disadvantage.
That has to be
That
the one
feels
we get
would-
right.
That has
Yeah.
to be the one that, so insight's gonna have to be the disadvantage.
Okay.
And
Okay.
you're way better at any of that. I mean, yeah, so I think,
Okay.
patience, you're rolling, you got this, and I am 100% okay with giving up that bitch.
Yeah, throw Esmeralda under the fucking bus.
Yeah, she's good for the cause. There you go, baby. Padre will save you.
Okay. So the insight.
We can tell him.
Insight.
Hold on. We can tell him that the Padre is supposed to be coming in 2 days if we want to be really shitty about it.
If you say that, I'll give you advantage.
Yeah.
It'll,
That the
But that might also be our only shot at getting out.
yep. If you give up that in 2 days he'll be here, you will get advantage on the persuasion.
Not worth it.
I-
Not worth
I
it.
don't think it's.
And it won't cancel it out. You will get advantage.
Mavec isn't a good person to ask right now. She doesn't
Yeah,
like
30
it.
If we say that Padre is coming in 3 days, will we get canceled out?
If you give the honest truth about what you know, really quick, you got 18 seconds after I finish talking to make your decision.
hold on. Odds and evens.
If
We get
you, if you tell
You can
him,
make the call, patience.
if you tell him that they're gonna come in 2 days and tell the truth, you get advantage. If not, it's disadvantage.
Okay, but I can
18
choose if I have I can choose if I have disadvantage on the insight, or I have disadvantage on the persuasion.
10 seconds.
I'd say don't give up the info. Disadvantage.
No, I'm taking disadvantage on insight,
All right.
which is a 14 and 17 on the die, so that's a dirty 20 on the
Okay.
insight.
14
mean,
on
so-
the die, dirty 20 for insight.
So fuck you, David.
Okay, what you know, what you can gather from your insight roll is that he knows that Esmeralda is tied to Il Padre, right? He knows that. That is who. It's like Esmeralda said, right? This is. Remember when you first came through and he said, y'all, we could trade in like goods and services, but I'm not sure you guys can handle that. This is who he was talking about. And then the last thing I will say is just reiterate, right? If you tell him the truth, it will go more well. Right? It'll be a way lower DC. I'll put it that way. If you're going to try to lie and withhold anything, right? If you're not telling the whole truth, and it's a deception, that DC is going to be a 25. No
Do I
guidance.
need?
Okay, what's the roll?
I'm rolling my deception straight.
14 or higher on the die.
Fuck yes, 18 plus 11, baby.
Whew.
All we know is that
Okay,
it's close.
okay. So you say something along the lines of like, all you know is that Esmeralda's working with him, but you have you truly, and this part is true, right? You have no
Yeah.
idea where he is on every.
Yeah,
night.
we don't know where.
All right. Sorry, let me roll those rolls for Slippy.
Never heard this person before in my life.
They got really intense.
I'm shaking, David. I'm shaking.
You're welcome. Which is good, because as soon as he whistles, the wolf stops from pouncing on a Slippy that is on their back with the arrow unsteady unsteadily aimed at this wolf that is about to pounce on them. Yeah, and as soon as Kiril whistles, the wolf sits on its hindquarters, but is snarling and ready to go in a second to get something. You guys have successfully passed your skill check. All right. Believe you to an extent. What if that's the case, see, it's like I told you earlier, this fucking wizard with his silver weapons and his fucking light sword and his goddamn magic.
His light sword, huh?
He's always able to fucking get the best of us. I'm also fairly certain he's made copies of himself somehow. It's just insane. But yeah, him and his army have a pretty distinct advantage because of the magic and the silver weapons. Now I think with a smaller team, we can chop the head off, the body will die. I think maybe me, Patty, maybe a couple others, with you all as the vanguard leading the charge, you can take them down. I'll give you a night to think about it. You can either follow the plan, you can use Esmeralda as bait, follow her along, or, and he just kind of gestures to Slippy, we can see who's the last one standing. Why don't you go ahead and patch up our brave new warrior down there. And you see Slippy is having a hard time. They're kind of like slopping out, right? Is the best way I can describe it. Is there's like the way like a cell wall works, right? As it can reform, but when it's taking this kind of damage, it is very. They're just kind of, and the shape is like all over. Now that they are like somewhat relaxed, Slippy is having a very difficult time. So go ahead and get Slippy patched up. Send them along in with their compatriots, so they can have a very important discussion. And you all are led away.
I drop a healing word for Kruntle, if I'm allowed.
No. It is counterspelled by one of the mages next to you.
I still spent it though.
Yep. Yeah, the moment you seem to be doing anything more than like a cantrip and anything particularly to like one of each other, that seemed to be the trigger. Yeah, Kruntle, you come to. He didn't like take all your health away. He just knocked you out. And you come to a world of pain. Your hands are gone. You are having a very difficult time. You're having a hard time focusing. So your any mental rolls, you're going to take a disadvantage.
Okay.
And you cannot roll sleight of hand.
Yeah. Sleight of
Got
hand.
no hands.
Slide a wrist. Slide a stub.
Oddwood like takes his hand off and like puts it on Cruntle's nub.
Mm.
It just kind of falls off because ink doesn't separate with it.
Mm.
It just keeps like, yeah, it's like putting two female sides of the Lego together. It just kind of, yeah.
Come on, Ink. Now you gotta help me out with this. We gotta get Kruntle hands.
Esmeralda is in there with you, and before anybody could say anything, she's like, we cannot work with him. We cannot.
Mavec looks at her party and says, it would get us out. If we get out, we can do something about it.
Unless you have any other friends that you can sell out.
Fortunately, I don't. I also don't want to sell myself out. That's my worry, which I feel is very validated, is that in the end, when his problem is eliminated, we are eliminated.
Oh, well, you might be. We will see when the time comes.
We includes you. I don't know how expendable you think you are.
Esmeralda, I need you to stop complaining and worrying about yourself right now.
Hear the wolves in the background.
Little
No,
puppies. It's Andrej.
it's just on. Yeah, somebody's whipping
boyfriend.
Andrej's butt, and they're saying, "More like a dog, more like a dog."
Yeah. What we're doing is creating as many opportunities as we can. Here we are surrounded by anywhere upwards of 30 individuals ready to slit our throats in a moment's notice. What he's proposing is a smaller group of people. If you do not see the opportunity in that, I misjudged you sorely.
And you are welcome to stay here in this cage.
Esmeralda stiffens her back as much as she can. Again, patience in a very reminiscent way of Evie when they were very close to the end there. And she would get those bouts of defiance. And she says, she looks Mavec in the eye and says, I would rather die fighting for what I know is right than live a lie and sell out the last hope Barovia has of ending this evil. Because I tell you now, the group I see in front of me will do no such thing except be bamboozled and pulled along and captured again and again. And Strahd will continue to get away as he continues to divide every force that opposes him.
Are we
I will
unbound?
die with dignity.
Are we unbound?
Yeah.
Patience slaps her.
Yeah, roll the check.
Hold on.
Yay! Mavec, yeah, she's like, good.
That is a 14.
It's not gonna hit. She ducks and gives you that's a really good roll. At disadvantage. Sorry. They duck, and what's your? Oh, your AC is like what, 13 right now or something?
It's 12.
12 with no armor. Yeah, she absolutely decks you for 9 points, moving a little quicker than you thought she could. Comes in with an uppercut and a strong overhand right, knocks you to your knee.
This is Esmeralda?
Sentinel
Esmeralda.
Opportunity attack there and grapple.
You have what's Sentinel? Or
Yeah, it just triggers an opportunity attack when someone attacks an ally.
yeah. I didn't know you had Sentinel. I
I
should
do.
know that as the DM. But yeah. Roll your strength check.
All right. My athletics isn't incredible. Where is it? Oh, there it is. That is a 12, but we're nearing the end of the day. Nah, I'm not going to burn my last lucky. I might need it.
That's a really good idea. What'd you say? 8?
I got a 12.
12? Yeah, you got her. They're very weak. From malnutrition and whatever.
Be a
they're
little
all fine on
bitch.
the die at disadvantage. But from the grasp of your arms, she looks down at Patience and says, I may be on my last leg and my last breath, but I will not go down without a fight and be disrespected by some fucking brat.
Oh,
Patience
shut
will
up! You're
stand up.
pathetic.
Yeah, you're being kind of pathetic right now.
Mavec starts getting bigger.
Roll
Control.
roll the Constitution. Let's roll at a disadvantage.
Yeah, because she's kind of on purpose making it happen at this point. Yeah, that would be a 6, baby.
Okay. And then now roll me a Wisdom saving throw.
Oh shit.
You do
Straight.
not want under a 5. Sorry, and
Okay.
it's Wisdom at disadvantage with the stats of your new.
Okay,
of your
got
form.
Stats of your what?
it. Mm-hmm.
New form.
New form. Yeah, 6.
You
Don't fuck with my party, man.
see blood. We'll say that you're standing furthest in the back, right? Nobody
We'll
really
saw it.
sees what's happening, right? But yeah, you enlarge. Your nails harden, grow longer into these sort of claws. Your hands become more of that like lupine, animalistic form, right? This like you bulge everywhere, right? Muscles grow. You kind of let me just roll a luck check. Let's see how Incredible Hulk this gets.
Right
Yeah,
during her cage.
We fucking run.
all y'all's attention is drawn by the sound of fabric ripping. And Mavec, for a second, all you see in the tent, in the cage, everywhere is threats.
Okay.
And then you're able to focus, and you see in Oddwood's arms, your sole focus. And what do? You are in control of your faculties.
Oddwood, how are you holding her? How do you have her grappled?
I think Oddwood has like one arm wrapped around like her shoulders and like pinning her other, like one of her arms behind her back.
Okay.
So he's behind her.
A clawed hand swipes out and grabs her by the neck.
Okay.
Mavec, no, we need her.
Give me 1 second. I do not have their.
At this point, I'm just holding.
We don't kill people for fun.
They stare you down. She stares you right back in the eyes.
You want to die? You want to throw away? Foolish! Foolish! Foolish human! And the nails are digging in and getting close to puncturing.
Through
puts a hand
very
on the
difficulty, death is only temporary. I have died many times and would gladly die again to kill Strahd.
I can make it go faster.
You will die again like a fool and fail to kill Strahd again.
Patience has got her hand on your strong forearm and is gently trying to put the hand down.
Are you trying to intimidate her or persuade?
Persuade.
No, I meant
Oh,
as
for
more
Mavec?
relevant first.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. I'm absolutely trying to intimidate her to shut up, to get over it.
Yeah, you could roll a strength-based intimidation.
Awesome.
Get over it.
Shut up. You're not being helpful. Strength-based intimidation. Okay. +4, baby!
Woo!
Which is good, because I got a 13. I'm used to being strong. It's my first time in control of this shit.
Oddwood and Kruntle, patience because you're actively doing something else. We're gonna resolve that in a second. Roll a perception check.
With disadvantage for me. Right.
Yes.
23, finally.
14.
Reasonable roll.
Yeah, Oddwood. You see one of the guards ran away. So there's only one guard right now. Kruntle, what did you get?
14.
14? Oh yeah, so you both see that. Oddwood, if there was a time to make a break for it, it is literally right this second. Patience, go ahead and roll your persuasion. And Mavec, do you feel in your heart of hearts that this is the best course of action?
Hurting this person?
What you're doing to try to scare them into the intimidation, the whole deal.
I think after the snap of yeah, she's just disgusted with this person, and she would just throw her away. Not throw her, but she would just ugh.
Is Slippy with us right now?
Yes, Slippy's very in and out of it too. So it looks like they gave Slippy just enough healing to sort of keep them afloat. But Slippy's kind of got you by the arm, and it's we probably need her. But again, really quick, Mavec. So I understand what you're saying, but do you feel like it's the moral thing, the right thing, the correct way to go about this? Does Mavec feel that? Sorry, not Laura.
Does Mavec feel that? No, I think at this point she's.
So then roll a wisdom check versus Courtney's, versus Patience's 19.
Okay.
Persuasion.
Big stats or normal stats?
Yeah, you're second form. You're transformed. So
Okay. All right. Wisdom saving throw or just a wisdom check?
Yeah, just a wisdom check.
Okay.
There's no spell or anything. So it's...
Okay, 17.
Oh yeah. You go to squeeze a little more. 4 trickles of blood on one side and 1 trickle on the other begins to pour. And then you catch Oddwood in the corner of your eye. And you see the growing moonlight glint off of the black left in the hole and shimmer on the ripples that you made. And you think for a second, I don't want to do this again.
Yeah. Drop. And step back.
I have no choice. If he makes me go with you, I have to do what I have to do. But you all have a choice to decide whether to kill someone who has stood in the face of Strahd, trying to accomplish the same goals, or this beast who is just attempting to be the king of this forest.
Oddwood's going to turn to the other three and like try and subtly gesture towards the fact that there's one guard. He doesn't want to make the call himself.
Roll persuasion at disadvantage.
Persuasion.
Nonverbal because of the way that, because it's nonverbal and because of how intense things are right now.
Yeah.
Esmeralda's on the floor, clutching her neck, looking up at
It's
Mavec.
not in roll 20.
Kruntle is desperately wishing they had hands, and Patience is in a bit of a bout.
That's making me immediately think that now is not the time to run away. 'Cause it wouldn't get
what'd
very
you get?
far. There we go. I got a 7.
Yeah. I don't think anybody picks it up. You all see, like, everybody's in their own shit right now. Which is probably a good idea, because very quickly, maybe like 30 seconds to a minute, Patty comes. And he carries a sword on his side, not a spear or anything. But as soon as they see Mavec, they transform into their hybrid form. And they shout to go get more guards.
Yeah, Mavec at this point is just like,
Are you? And he like kind of looks really closely. You're still transformed. You haven't gone, right? Okay. What form of what is this? And more guards come up, and a different one of the guards comes up and says, Sir, they found him. They found the Padre. The scouts said they found him lurking outside a camp. One of the snares. They found him. They're bounding and gagging him now. And then you see Patty say, where? The northwest section. Just off the road. And this is like a younger boy. Mavec rolling in. Well, I guess you can roll an insight. And everybody else can roll insight too. I was gonna say give you advantage, but you're like kind of in your monster form right now. So.
Dirty 20.
This is like a runner. This is a kid who. This is like a messenger. They have. They're like probably too young to fight, and so this is clearly just like some kid. Patty pulls out a whistle that you guys can't really hear. And within seconds, the entire the entire camp is moving, bustling, forming up. Patty's giving direction. He won't be bound and gagged for long. who knows where the reinforcements are coming from. Circle around, go 2 miles out, circle around the road. And he's given just these, like, all kinds of like tactics and where and who's going to be up front. And they get these like special weapons. And Kiril comes out like a little bit later. He's like buttoning his pants. And he comes up to Patty and he's like, what'd you blow that whistle for, boy? And he's like, they found it. They found El Padre. I was organizing the troops. And you see Kiril slap him.
Ooh.
He says, how many fucking times do I gotta tell you? You blow that goddamn whistle when I tell you to blow that goddamn whistle. Any authority you have is one given by me. And he grabs him by like the scruff. Is that fucking understood? And through steely jaw, he says, all right, let's head out. And they transform and bound out. And there is now the small child. There's the 2 wizards, or not wizards, but spellcasters. And they look. Poor Andrich is laying on his side in the fetal, trying to sleep, with blood around his mouth. And that's like kind of what you see, right? Oh, and then there's the big old wolf. You can tell this one's like older, so like it clearly doesn't do any ranging anymore. It's kind of like the camp guard. And you see the little boy. He's like, whoa, that was scary. And he's talking to the other guards. And he's like, have you ever seen one? Have you seen anybody that's seen him before? I heard he's 7 feet tall. And as big as a house. Bigger than that one. Pointing to Mavec. Bigger than any wolf. Is that true? And one of the spellcasters says, no, that ain't true. He's just another little fucking bitchy sorcerer type spellcasters. Not like us. And they're also very scrawny little guys. Oh wow. So then where does like all his power come from? And they say, well, he's got some sort of weapon. I'd never seen him. He said it's a light sword, but he's probably just real bright or something. And he's got these gentlemen in full plate, but it's silver. And the silver, we can't really do much about that. So that's why we've been rolling around in the hybrid form so much lately, to be able to fight with weapons. Oh, that makes sense. Wow, dude, what do you think Kiril's gonna do to him? I don't know, but it ain't gonna be pretty. Probably end up like this one. Points to Kruntle. First, pick the tongue too, for sure. These spellcasters can't ever be too safe. It's like, oh wow, I don't know what I'd do without my tongue. And well, this is not nothing you got to worry about. And he's like, well, I would have to worry about it if Kiril ever caught me. And you see the disguise drop. And with a surprise, they will roll at disadvantage. Roll 2d20s. And then 2d20s. They both failed, and they are held. And you see in front of you what is still a very young man. It looks like maybe only like 18 or 19, if you had to put it right, like somewhere between 17 to 20. But he is like bigger, virile, much bigger than the like very young boy that was like 10 to 11. And Esmeralda, you came, and this unidentified gentleman, this unidentified gentleman, says, yes, of course. Where's the information? And she points to the tent. And he next says, is this them? Yes, this is them. I think they can... And she takes a long look at Mavec and says, I think they can be trusted, mostly.
You're going to have to repeat that line.
I think they can be trusted, mostly.
Yeah, we don't sell out our friends.
And Esmeralda at this point says, you were very willing to sell me out just a moment ago.
No, we're willing to make our way to the Padre. We, of course, weren't going to try and kill him.
It doesn't matter what was going to happen. We need to go. He very quickly slits the throats of the two guards, and opens the gate, and you head to the tent. And on your way there, he's talking to Esmeralda in like hushed tones. Well, not hushed, but like that hurried, and they're like a little bit ahead. And he's like, "Does he still have the weapon?" And she says, "Yes, he does. He just used it today." And points to Kruntle's stubs. Okay. Let's get the tomes and get out. You all, and he turns at this point and says, "You all are free to go, or you can come with me. If your aims are true, and if you are honest, all that I seek is the destruction of Strahd, and to cleanse the evil of Barovia."
And it seems we are aligned.
Okay, good.
Patience makes a beeline and gets Andrej.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna roll for the group, just some luck checks. See if you encounter anyone at all. Let's hope not.
Grab my arms while you're at it.
Yeah, Kruntle's hands are chewed up a little bit.
Yeah, but they've got those gloves on them.
And
we need the gloves.
who's in the tent? Oh yeah, huh? Who's in the tent with when they get the stuff?
Oddwood and Slippy would be there.
Anybody else?
Mavec is standing outside on guard.
Okay. Oddwood, there's a ton of shit in here too, if you want to try to grab stuff. But you can quickly see the bag of holding. You can see the bag of holding, and you see a bunch of your stuff next to it, like everybody's armaments, and that kind of stuff. Are you gonna try
Actual arms?
No. Are you gonna try to load it yourself with Slippy, or are you gonna call people?
Kruntle, you have mage hand, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I think it makes sense for Mavec to stay guard outside. I think Slippy and Oddwood are going to load it. I'm going to look to Kruntle and say, or I'm going to call Kruntle in if he's not in, and say, you have a better eye for this sort of thing than I do. If there's anything here that would be helpful for our quests, we should bring it. As I'm just shoveling shit
Kruntle,
in the bag.
Or somebody roll an investigation check.
How long does it take me to get on
My
Dredge?
investigation's actually pretty good.
Yeah, if you want to roll it and have Slippy help you, I'll give you advantage. It'll take you a round, so you can come up as like Kruntle entered. You start heading back there with Andrej.
Cool. I can do the investigation here. That's going to be a 25.
Oh my god, you got it. Again, tons of correspondence. That you found the stuff, the journal. You found the stuff that Kruntle took from Atticus. And you find a different spot too. With roll. No history check needed. You recognized it. You recognize correspondence with seals broken on it that are Strahd's crest. And you get all your stuff, and you're able to head out.
Cool, including that correspondence.
Yes, all of
That's
that.
correspondence with Kiril, I assume.
You can find out.
Cool.
He
Find
can't
out.
read.
He can't read it. You're right.
Yeah,
Maybe
I'm not
it's
gonna say you're gonna sit there and read it.
His competent
I
second
guess you could.
command.
Kiril can't read.
You can open a letter and whatever. Yeah, there's you find a letter that says at the very beginning, well, I'm very glad that we could work something out in this arrangement, and I'm happy that you're having fun with your new toy. Use it well and in good health. S.
Did the Padre kill all of the dogs?
No, the old dog didn't move because you guys were quiet. You guys killed the people in silence. So there's one. They took all the other wolves. The old wolf is still there.
I want to leave this letter with the old wolf, but I don't know how to do that safely. Maybe with Kruntle's mage hand on the way out.
Roll an intelligence check. Patience, Bastion, or Oddwood, roll an intelligence check. Patience, roll a perception check at advantage.
Ooh, I like advantage.
Okay, I'm assuming my intelligence check is not at advantage. That is a strong 6.
14. Well, I was rolling perception.
Mhm.
18.
You should leave this in Patty's tent. Oddwood's trying to talk out loud, and he's just like rambling about, well, we need to make sure that the others know that Kiril's secretly working with Strahd.
It's a very good
and
odd
the Padre at this point says, what? Well, yeah.
In his second
Here.
in command. We
Do
leave
you
it
know
in
where
his
his tent is? The second biggest tent?
Andrej, do you know?
Oh, cousin. It's so cold.
She's like pulling out like really fancy like robes and like covering him and like prestidigitating some of the yuckier filth off of him.
Yeah, and he says, yes, it's that one. And so I'll just give that to you. You guys can go place it like under his pillow where he's gonna find it.
Sick.
And as you ride away, is there any last things anybody's gonna try to do or wants to do? Okay.
No.
It's like, I guess we're trying to kind of be stealthy so we don't annoy the old wolf. Because my immediate thought was I want to Tasha's Caustic Brew this tent and the kitchen.
I want to burn this ground.
Roll a general intelligence check.
Again, yeah. Nat 1, baby. I'm gonna lucky that. I don't want to deal with
You
it.
have to.
Lucky. Good
You
luck.
have to.
I have to. This is not where we get the Nat 1. This is not...
We
My
don't
last-
go down for something that dumb.
Okay. 15.
Okay. You think that the wolf has been so trained to only go on certain like words and it's like a police dog.
Okay.
It hasn't heard the whistle. It hasn't heard the words. If you start this fire while you're there, you will this will become an encounter.
Okay.
If you like knock a candle over and let it, you know what I mean? But by the time you're out, it's ablaze, then you're probably fine.
Yeah. Let's knock a candle over, baby.
Okay. We're gonna fast forward. You guys get to you guys cut through. It's a treacherous journey, right? You guys cut through the mist. You see like a weird bit of magic Esmeralda do. That none of you were perceptive enough to notice on the trip to Madame Ava's. And you see that you guys get Bastion, Mavec, and Patience. You guys recognize this area is very far from where you were. You guys got there too fast. You guys got there in about a day's travel when it should have taken you like 4 or 5 days. Clearly Esmeralda can do something in the mists to sort of like fast travel. It's the next day. Kruntle, your hands have been reattached. But there is going to be a period where you're going to have some difficulties. And your shadow has not fully recovered. Il Padre sits you all down. Says, is everybody doing well?
That
as well as it could be expected. Are you well enough to have a conversation?
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah, let's talk.
Okay. I want to talk to you about how to kill my son. And that is where we're going to leave off.
Oh.
For a while. Thank you all for sticking with us. We'll be back sometime early next year. We're going to take a little break from this campaign. We love you all. Check out, click the links, like, subscribe, all that. Bye-bye.